Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be diving into the Styx The Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight Live Concert Blu-ray. So it comes in a standard plastic Blu-ray case with no booklet, but the inside sleeve and the back cover shows a set list and Blu-ray credits. If you stick around until the end, I will display the full set list for this concert. So the multitude of Amazon.com reviews and comments submitted for this Blu-ray before it was even released will tell you just how divided Styx fans were at the time and still are. You have the Styx isn't Styx without Dennis DeYoung camp, who pretty much shit all over the current version of the band every chance they can get. And the other side, who just appreciates any Styx they can get, whether it be DeYoung and his band performing his old Styx tunes, or the James Young and Tommy Shaw-led version you get on this and more recent Styx concert videos. What happened to Styx certainly wasn't unique in the annals of rock history. You had two chief songwriters in DeYoung, who co-founded the band in 1990, and Shaw, who joined in 1975, with different musical styles who each wanted to take the band in a slightly different direction. This scenario has been the downfall of many a great band. The Beatles and Pink Floyd immediately come to mind. So I have seen Styx in concert several times over the last few decades and own most of their concert videos. And I think they still perform and sound pretty great for the most part. This summer's tour is really going to be pushing that envelope though, as these guys are now in their 70s or at least pushing 70. I was never particularly thrilled with the ballad-heavy theatrical direction that DeYoung started taking the band around the time of 1979's Cornerstone album. And I usually gravitated more towards the more rocking Tommy Shaw material at the time. It was a seamless combination of Shaw and DeYoung's different styles that made all of the great Styx albums so great though. And The Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight are certainly the two best examples of their short-lived brilliant chemistry. Released back-to-back in 1977 and 78, these two albums were my first introduction to the band, and they also turned Styx into multi-platinum superstars. The concert was filmed on November 9, 2010 at the historic Orpheum Theater in Memphis, Tennessee, where Styx performed their classic The Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight albums in their entirety for the very first time. The concert begins with a Star Wars-like crawl on the giant video screen behind the stage as recorded orchestra music pumps out over the PA. This worked brilliantly considering that both Star Wars and The Grand Illusion were released in the same glorious year of 1977. In what would be a repeated theme throughout the concert, they then show a boy in his bedroom thumbing through a stack of classic 1970s rock albums until he comes across The Grand Illusion. He takes it out of the sleeve, puts it on the turntable, and when the needle hits the vinyl, the band launches into side one of The Grand Illusion. Without even being warmed up yet, the band hits The Grand Illusion side one opener right out of the park. Keyboardist and vocalist Lawrence Gowan replaced Young back in 1999, and I think he's done a decent job in filling some very big shoes. He not only nails all of the 70s style synthesizer sounds that dominate those classic albums, but his vocals sound close enough to DeYoung's amazing pipes to make it an overall satisfying experience. There is a good concert video out there from 2014, a few years after this one, of DeYoung and his hot young band playing all Styx classics, and it not only hammers home just how next level DeYoung was in terms of vocals, keyboards, and stage presence, but it also kind of makes it obvious just how inferior Gowan is to him in this current version of Styx. And this is not meant to be a slam of Gowan, as I've paid good money to see him fronting Styx several times, and he is a very accomplished singer-musician in his own right. But DeYoung was always the star of Styx. The current star of Styx, however, Tommy Shaw, takes center stage next with one of his finest songs, Fooling Yourself, the Angry Young Man. and his vocals sounded better than ever. He is such an underrated singer and guitarist, in my opinion. Styx has been bringing out original bassist Chuck Panozzo to guest on a few songs on most of their tours ever since he had to quit full-time performing after being diagnosed with HIV and AIDS in the 90s. I did think it was quite hilarious, though, when Tommy introduces him for his big solo spot during Fooling Yourself, and it's just some short section of the song with two notes going dum, 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 dum. As impressive as Sean Gowan's lead vocals still sound live, I'll even throw in JY's gritty and dramatic baritone in there too. The band's spot-on harmony vocals were what really impressed me the most. Look no further than the next track, Superstar, for a great example of this. Not sure if they were using any recorded backing tracks or other trickery, but it certainly sounded amazing on this video. During the intro to the song, JY sums up how they were performing several songs that they had never performed live before, stating, "We had to work on some songs that we really thought were maybe too hard to accomplish in the first place, but we're going to prove that wrong right now with Superstar." I've seen Styx play all the big hits off these two albums like Come Sail Away, Blue Collar Man, and Renegade a million times, and it just never gets old for me. But the real treat that this concert video offers is the band's brilliant performances of such deep cuts as Man in the Wilderness, Castle Walls, I'm Okay, and Queen of Spades. I also loved how they went old school on us and presented one album side at a time, with a particularly animated Tommy Shaw announcing the end of each album side and asking the fans, "What do we do now?" As the audience watches that same boy in the video removing the turntable stylus from side one, they all reply in unison, "Flip it over." Side 2 of Pieces of Eight could have really been one of the greatest classic rock album sides of all time had they been able to come up with just one more killer song for that side. After starting remarkably with Blue Collar Man, Queen of Spades, and Renegade, the album closes with the much weaker Pieces of Eight and Aku Aku, which is my biggest gripe with the album sequencing. With the era of music streaming and digital download dominance upon us, many people only purchase the individual hits or stick with the greatest hits packages nowadays. Styx shows you what a pleasure it can be to hear a couple of great albums that are wonderfully diverse and concise, performed in their entirety from start to finish. The overall production quality of this Blu-ray disc was outstanding. Videophiles may notice the usual video noise issues that crop up occasionally, especially when filming a brilliant light show. But for the most part, this widescreen HD picture is as sharp as a knife, with vibrant colors and incredible detail on all of the close-up shots. DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, Dolby Digital 5.1 Surround, and LPCM 2.0 are your three audio options, and they are all very impressive. After briefly sampling the Dolby and LPCM mixes, I stuck mainly with the excellent DTS HD audio mix, which allowed each instrument to shine through with superb precision and clarity. My only gripe with the overall production is that the crowd is barely included in either the video or audio, which kind of gives the show a more meticulous and duller vibe than a rockin' arena concert would. The bonus material consisted of an excellent Putting on the Show feature, which gives you an in-depth look at the people and equipment behind the scenes. It features interviews with damn near every person involved with the production of the Styx concert, including the band manager, the stage manager, light and sound techs, each of the instrument techs, all the way down to the merchandise guy. The band members are only featured briefly when they discussed how they decided to end the show with Aku Aku Fade Out and how well it worked. The set list shown here featured 19 songs and the total runtime was 101 minutes. As for my ratings of this concert DVD, my overall production rating is an 8 out of 10. And my overall performance rating is also an 8 out of 10. So the Grand Illusion Pieces of 8 live resoundingly proves that Styx were still going strong in 2010 as a live touring act. And surprisingly, they have also released a couple of pretty impressive new albums since then, with 2017's The Mission and 2021's Crash of the Crown. Definitely check them out if you haven't. All right, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on the Styx The Grand Illusion Pieces of 8 live concert Blu-ray in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Also, please support this channel by using the Amazon Associates links in the description for some of the DVDs and CDs I mentioned in the review. Thanks, and catch you next time.